Alright team, so today we're going to be replacing these two O sensors, which is bank 1 on a 3.6 liter Dodge Durango. Saying sensor 1 is not operating correctly, which is that one just up here. I know it's a little hard to tell with, there we go. So that one there, as you can see, like the wires there look a little frayed. I don't know if there maybe too much heat was getting to them and it just killed the sensor. So we're actually going to be replacing both of these sensors today. Both O2 sensors the owner went and got for this job. So we're going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. So as you see, the second sensor here is the connection is right there, just easy to get to. The second one is a little higher up. We'll have to follow that line right there. So it's not too far away from it, but it's still a little tight in here. I was thinking about going from the top to see if I can get it that way, because you can see that there's this airspace right in here, but it is way too tight to try and get a wrench down there. So the easiest access point is down here at the bottom of it. So bank 1 on this 3.6 is on the passenger side. Bank 2 is over on the driver's side. But we're getting the engine code for bank 1, sensor 1, which is that one there. So again, like I said, we're gonna just replace both of these sensors here right now. So let's go ahead and get this going. So as you guys can see, going with the second sensor here, following it up, it is wrapped up in a thermal covering right here. Let's see if I can focus in on that a little bit better. There we go. So again, it is super tight in here, but there's a clip right there on the bottom. We'll just go ahead, pull that and pull out. It's the same thing with the other sensor. It is super tight to get to. Let's see if I can get you guys a good shot of it. Yeah, there it is, all the way up there. Same thing on the bottom. Just pull that tab, push that tab down, and then it should just pull right out. Again, you see that closer look at that sensor, how that looks versus how this one looks. This is why that sensor is having a fault code on it. So let's see if I can get my O2 socket onto that and see first if we can get up to these connections and disconnect them. Like I said, it is pretty tight in here, so it may take a minute. So I'm gonna, for now, go ahead and put you guys down to go ahead and try and do this. It's be a little hard for me to try and do this with you guys. Well, actually, let me see if I can try to do it real quick. Yeah, it's just still a little too tight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and get the socket on here, take that off. Should free me up a little more space to be able to work in here, because that is also part of the issue. I can't get my hand all the way in because the sensor's in the way. So let me grab the socket real quick, guys, and then we'll be right back. All right, team, so the socket ended up being too big, so I used my other O2 sensor removal tool here. Fit pretty easy on there now it's nice and loose. So I'll make sure to go ahead and link in the description of where you can find a little kit for these. Comes with 2 different sizes and a rethread tool, 2 rethread tools for the sensor port. So now we'll just unscrew this. I'm not too worried about tangling up the wire because we're going to be replacing all this anyway. There we go. Now it's out of the way. Now we have better access to the sensor right here. Find that little tab that's in there. It should be right there. So as you can see right there, it's the plug right there. So just got to try and get right there on the bottom to be able to push that tab down, and then should be able to pull it right out. So let me go ahead and do that real quick, and then let me get back with you guys, because I'm gonna need both of my hands so I can move the heat protectant around the sensor port there, so I can get a better access to it there. So let me take care of that real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right, so here it is. We finally got it out. Took a little doing because it's so tight in here, but there is a bet it got it off. So I did reach up and get the other one off. It was a little easier to get to. Just kind of stick your hand right here and up. Well, actually, if you stick it right, so here's the passenger side tire. So if you stick it up right here by the lower control arm is right here. So there's the gap that's in here. So you just reach up through here and then reach up through there. And then there's the second plug-in for the O2 sensor there, but you can reach pretty easily from there. So now we're gonna go ahead and take out the second O2 sensor here. Go ahead. Put the tool on here. Now that that's on there, now get the ratchet wherever it's at. All right, so now you can see I got the ratchet and the tool on there. So try and see if I can do this with hold on to you guys at the same time. These things are on there pretty tight, so we'll see if I can go ahead and do this. See, might be a little too. Let me readjust the wrench, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, team. For me to be able to get this one off, I had to actually cut the wiring off. It was just too tight for me to use the tool on there. So I had to cut it off so I can go ahead and get a 22 millimeter on there, just as a little extra leverage. Plus, it was also really tight. So can use regular wrenches to get that stuff off of there, and then I just attached another wrench to give me a little more torque to be able to get that off. But show you real quick, fits just fine in there and holding it tight. Now I wouldn't use the open end part of it because it won't give you much of a grip, so you want to use the closed end on there. And then after I did that, it was pretty easy to go ahead and pull it right out. But as you can see how dark that is, all that carbon buildup there, sir. Yeah, this is why this wiring ended up breaking off. Here's the old one here. This is the second sensor. See, you see how it's not as bad, but you see how that is all dark. And this is the issue that it's having. So now we'll go ahead, get these new ones, see which one goes to, get them installed properly, and then kind of go from there. So here are the two O2 sensors. He's got a Bosch and an NTK. The Bosch is actually the downstream. The NTK is the upstream. So we'll go ahead and get the upstream on first, and then we'll go ahead and do the downstream since it's going to be a little easier to get to and do. So let's go ahead and get under the car and get this one on there. Each one has these little cap on it, and it's because it has anti-seize on the threads here for both O2 sensors. So we're going to go ahead and obviously remove the caps, tighten these up, plug them in, and then after that we'll go ahead and check the codes. Okay. First we'll go ahead and hand tight. Next, at this point obviously we're not going to go ahead and clip that wire, so we're going to use the open end this time to actually tighten it, just because we have a little more space. Now the biggest thing with this is that there's a crush washer on the O2 sensor. Oops, that was close. So you want to make sure that you get this very tight on there. See if the O2 socket tool will actually might be able to have a little more space with it with the ratcheting wrench. Maybe with the socket wrench. One second, let me go ahead and set this up. All right, team, so it was a little too tight to be trying to record and put these back in, but as you can see, I got them back in, connected the connections, and now we'll go ahead and clear the codes. All right, team, thanks for watching. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed just yet, please consider subscribing. Went ahead and checked the codes. Everything went all clear. It's been about a week, have not returned. So we went ahead and fixed the issue. Obviously, the one O2 sensor was the bad sensor with how bad the wires were and everything like that. But any comments or anything like that, just go ahead and put them down below in the comment section, and I'll make sure to get back at you guys. So until then, on to the next.